warm up with 180. This is like, although it's a warm up, it's like my first set. It tells me how the day is going to be. So velocity is on. First set where I'm dressed as well. Sleeves on, belt on. That wasn't that fast. I guess we'll see how the rest of the warm-ups go. Next up, I'm gonna go 217.5. That's my minimum. So I've got 3 singles. Last week, I hit that big 252.5 for a PB. So this week, I'd like to go higher, but we'll see. This is like maximum fatigue week. 3 heavy singles, at least 217.5. So yeah, we'll go 217 for the next set and then go from there. I was gonna say it's not feeling great, but how I feel is irrelevant, because if I move it well, then it's fine. I shouldn't feel great because it's at the point in the training cycle of where it's maximum fatigue. So I'm gonna put some music on, I'm gonna do 220, I'm gonna move it convincingly, and then in a perfect world, I'll go up, but we'll see. That was not as quick as I wanted it to be. I mean, 0.51 is okay, but it's not special. I need to check last week, see what that was for comparison of speed. I definitely wasn't at maximum arousal for it, but I wasn't being lazy. So I'm gonna have a look and go from there. So last week I did 25 kilos more at essentially the same speed. So I think I'm gonna go up, because I know I'm strong enough to do it. I'm gonna go up to 235, so it's still gonna be heavy. I'm gonna see how that moves, because I've still got 3 singles to hit. They don't have to go up, so I've got 235 for my next, and then based on that, we'll determine the third, whether I keep going up or whether I stay there or even come back down. Last time I did 212, 230, 242, 252. So this time I've gone 220 and I'm going 235 now. So I put 235 on the bar. And I'll actually, not that I wasn't trying, but there's a difference like of being fired up and not. I think I sometimes find that when I hit a new weight, the first session I do it, it moves really well. And the next time I do it, it doesn't move as well. And I think it's because it's the psychological element, not the peaking of that. So last time I hit this was this big weight up there. It's like, whoa, I need to get fully fired up, ready to hit it. Whereas when I come to hit it again, it's like, oh, this isn't exciting. I've hit this before, so the adrenaline, the amount of amped up, is not as high. So then the performance is slightly worse. So that's a skill I'm trying to improve, is to bring the same level of intensity when I need to the heavier weights, even if they don't necessarily require it. So I know for a fact that I could squat 180 a hell of a lot faster than I do. I view it as it's my last warm-up. Yeah! That was better. .5. There we go. Back at it now. Just check the depth. That's much better. So that was 0.5. Last week I hit to I keep forgetting the weight. Last week I hit 242.5 at 0.5, so I'm only 7 kilos off, which is fantastic because maximum fatigue, like I said, so that's fine. So if I'm 7 kilos off, then that means 7 kilos off the top end would be 245 for today. Cool, I can do that. This is where having all the different measures can be super helpful. So if I just went off how I feel, This feels terrible, to be honest. But if I go how things move, that's another metric. If I just go off how things move, and you start to just look at the velocity instead of everything in the whole picture. So today, for example, if I just went off velocity, I'm like, oh, this is not good. I'm close to the competition. Something's going wrong. I need to change everything. But because I know that this is the point when fatigue should be the highest, it's not surprising that velocities are a little bit on the low side. So if we take the combination of the velocity, how the rep looks, and how I feel in general, then we can come to the conclusion that actually things aren't as bad as they might seem. So with that said, it means I will go 245 knowing it's going to be tough, knowing it's going to be challenging. And when you know that going into the lift, you can make sure you're in the right head. I didn't move at all, did it? You can know you're in the right headspace for it and give it everything you need to. So. Yes! That was alright. That wasn't as bad as I expected. Oh, it was 0.47. So that was 0.47. So tolerance is plus or minus 0.03. So last week I did 242.5 at 0.5. This week 245 at 0.47. So they're similar. I still think I can put a bit more oomph into this. This is the week of creating maximum fatigue. 255. Come to my attention that sometimes I just don't try hard enough. So this one, maximum effort, 255 kilos, so a nice 2.5 kilo PB over last week, which is every time I'm going for a new PB lift, unless it's something I'm like 1000% confident in, I go through the same framework every time. So first step is like being anxious, being nervous, and then I have to remind myself that if I've done all the things I need to do to earn the rep, then it's fine. So the first step is reassuring myself it's going to be fine. The next step is realizing that anxiety and excitement is a similar feeling. So I'm like, I'm excited, I'm not nervous, I'm excited. And the next step is I start to rub my fingers together when it's starting to get hard. And it's not a conscious thing, I'm aware. I only became aware of this after watching videos back of when I get something really heavy, I start to rub my fingers together. I can feel like I start to get goosebumps. And the next step is, as I get closer to the bar, there's two, like, I nod more than once, but there's two distinct moments. The first nod is, yeah, this will be fine. The second nod, by the time I get to the bar, is like, I can do anything. Well, that's how I feel. Obviously I can't, but I think you need that level of arrogance when you're sometimes lifting something super heavy. Like, because if you don't, and you don't go into it confident, you're gonna hurt yourself. So, with that said, let's go. Could have done 3. I honestly, I think I could have done 3 reps of that. Oh, that's exciting. So a nice PB. That wasn't as eventful as I thought it was going to be. I had this like built up so much in my head, and the rep was just like, yeah, I'll watch it back, make sure it's fine. Yeah, it's cool. This is my, well, it's not even my last warm up. Yeah, now this and then one more warm up. Whew. It's, I can squat this faster than I can deadlift it. That's potentially not good. It'll catch up though. That's all right. Top set is 232.5, 52.5 kilo jump. I'll make a 30 kilo jump, so it's a 30 and then a 22. So I'll go with 210. That's my actual final warm up. I mean, so prior to my last competition, which was about 4 weeks ago, all I did deadlift wise leading up into it was once a week I was doing one set of 1 rep at like an RPE 8 and then accessory work, and that's when I went and pulled the 245. That was at like a proper grinder RPE 10 rep. So this time round I've actually been training deadlift a bit more. I mean, I say I've been training it. You can see my training. I don't actually do very many deadlifts, but I've been specifically training to improve my conventional deadlift. So hopefully there should be some improvement. Now to go from 245 up to something bigger in 6 weeks, it's not likely, but it's possible. Maybe 5 kilos, 10 kilos or something. But today I'm, fingers crossed, gonna hit 232.5 or more for 3 singles, which is a really, really high percent for me, especially in the gym. And it's really tempting to just pull sumo, because I know that this is like nothing. 232 is still a warm-up weight for sumo. I need to stick to the convention. I'm like a recovering addict. I need to stick to the conventional, keep training that to make that better. As the closer I get to the competition, I'm getting more delusional, but also more realistic. So 700 total. What would that be made up of? Let's say bench. We'll go for 160 for argument's sake. That'd be a 5 kilo PB. That'd be pretty nice. Now, bear in mind as well, with all these PBs and stuff, these are not PBs of recent. These are PBs from like, so the last training peak I ran, I started in March, April, May, June, July time. So it was 6 months. And right towards the end of that 6 months is when I tore my adductor. So during that peak, I hit a 250 squat. So I was stronger then. I also hit a 155 bench. So I've not gone over them since then. So it's not like in the past month or 2 months I've magically gone like this. I've had all the foundation in place. I just haven't run a peaking block. So I've been doing the background work, especially for squats and bench. So they've been gradually improving because I tore my adductor doing sumo. So that's why I stopped deadlifting. It was still irritating me when I was doing conventional. So that's why I just 1 set, 1 rep once a week and then lots of accessory work. So now it's just all of the training is coming to fruition, and I'm getting a chance to show off that strength, to actually express it. So that's the final piece, is removing the fatigue and actually peaking up towards hitting some big lifts. So in a week and a half, 2 weeks time, I'll be hitting, hopefully, fingers crossed, some PBs, or PB total at least, so the combination of the 3. That's a lie, I probably won't because of the sumo. But trying to hit a PB squat, a PB bench, and a PB conventional deadlift in the gym. The week after that, I'll be back weaker again because I won't be peaked, I won't be primed. So your strength will go like that, and then up to a peak, and then come back down, and then back to where it is. Every time you get stronger, that base should be higher and higher and higher and higher. So now my base strength might be like a 240 squat, a 230 squat or something. But the next training phase, it might be 245, and the next one 250, and so on and so on. So then the peak is on top of that, it gets higher. At least that's how training should work. I don't want to drop it or split my thumbs. So that's the other thing that people don't realise, is that chalk helps you to actually keep in contact with the bar. And sometimes if your skin splits when the bar rotates in your hands, that's what can split the skin. And I don't want that. Right, come on. That was tough. So 232.5. I'd rather squat 255 again. I just watched that back and I did not take the slack out of the bar at all. So I need to do this better. I have no idea how I'm going to do that 2 more times. Need to hold it better at the top. Well, I say that, like I feel fine now. It's just so slow. There's never any doubt. My hands feel like they're going to fall off. I'll be fine. I just have to try. It's becoming a common theme. 0.19. That's right at my MBT. So what MBT is, means minimum velocity threshold, which is the minimum speed you can move the bar before you can't anymore. You can't really train it. You can to a tiny extent, but you can't improve it significantly. So I know that if I go 0.01 slower than that, I would not do anymore. So that is like an RP 10. I could have potentially done like 0.1 grams more, but not 2 kilos, not 5 kilos, and definitely not another rep. I just watched that back with the sound on, and the sound that's coming out, it's involuntary sounds that are coming out of my throat. It sounds like it's coming out of my backside, but the mic is picking it up because it's here. The sounds that are coming out of my throat as I'm bracing, which I didn't even know was a thing. Last week's squat single, I thought I was maybe like silently farting, well, not so silently, but yeah, that's coming out of my throat. So I might just take this off when I actually do the rep. Now, I can definitely do more reps, as in more singles. I definitely can't do any more reps, but it's going to be an absolute grinder to do it. Just need to make sure that I keep going. And that's the thing with this, like, it's hard, it's difficult, but it doesn't matter. Like, if it wasn't difficult, everyone would do it, everyone would be strong. And I wish I was someone who pulled deadlifts fast, but I'm not. So, it just means that I need to get stronger. Right, it's been about 2 minutes of rest. This is also not very much rest, but I don't feel like I need it. But I will stick with the pre-programmed rest schedule that will more closely mimic comp. Now, in terms of attempts for the competition, for deadlifts, I honestly have no idea. The most I pulled in the gym with my conventional before pulling that 245 was 215, I think, at that kind of difficulty. So this is nearly 20 kilos heavier. I don't think I'll pull nearly 20 kilos heavier than this in the competition. But next week, in theory, I'm going 237 for a couple of singles. So if I do that, then that would mean in the competition, I could maybe go something like 220, nah, I'd rather a bigger jump. 210, 240, 252, 255 or something. So if we go with the attempts that I said earlier, so 255 as a deadlift maybe, plus a 160 squat. So what's that? 415. So that would mean I would need to squat 285. That's not happening, not a chance. Maybe top end of squat 260 or 260 would be sensible. 265 would be lovely. And then next year, I think how I'll probably end up hitting 700 will be like a 270 squat, a 165-ish bench. So then that would mean I only need a 265 deadlift. I think I could do that. And then it's tough because I'm so tempted with the sumo, but I know that as soon as I start training it, I'll get a decent run and then my hips plural, will end up knackered. I cannot handle squatting and sumo deadlifting heavy. I tried different training styles, different ways of doing it. It's just that externally rotated position is just too much. So this way is safer, so long term will be stronger, but short term it's a hit on strength. If I put it behind me, you'll hear where it comes from. Come on. Somehow, that was even slower. And yet, there was no doubt. Interesting. Got one more rep to go. Been resting for 3 or 4 minutes. Want to give myself the best chance to do this. My hands are fine. Like in terms of the skin is fine, so there's no excuses there. It's just going to be a case of like hard work. It's only 1 rep, so it only takes like a second or something, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever. Just have to keep going. So let's get the bar sorted, nice and central because it should be. I don't want to drop it on the wood. Potentially, here's something that could help is, because I'm stood on wood and the bar is on mat, it could be on like a tiny deficit, which might be making it like a little bit harder. I don't know, maybe not. Right, last one. I was going to say, I don't know how I feel about that, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter, does it? Like I did the rep, I'll check the standard of it. There's nothing else I can do about it now. It's done. So the next step, let's be honest, I ain't going to do another rep. Program said 1 to 3 sets. So I've done the 3. They were definitely tough. Not a chance I could have done any more. I think now I've just got some pull-ups and glute ham raises. So I've been here about an hour and a half, which is actually, it's quite a long time for this session. Obviously you can do what you want, but I really like these neutral grip handles for doing pull-ups on. They feel really nice on my shoulders, and it means I'm not limited by my right arm going numb when I do reps. Maybe this wasn't the most sensible way to set up, especially not with putting them backwards. Let's do it this way. Right. Oh. Oh. That's the session done. I did that one set of 3 or 4 reps or whatever of pull-ups, and then I did weighted pull-ups. I did 3 sets of 8 reps, so nothing crazy. Glute ham raises, I did 6 sets of 3 reps with a pause at the bottom, and then that was it. And then the microphone died, so I charged it up whilst I put some stuff away so I could do this. And that's the end of this phase. So next phase, I'm going to go on to the concentrics, so like the rapid turnaround stuff. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That should be good. So this week I've hit 255 squats, a 150 bench, and a 232.5 deadlift. I'm aware the bench is not paused. I'm aware it's not all the same session, but that's still a decent training total. So that next week, hopefully like a little bit smidge higher, maybe around the 640-ish mark, and then competition 670 maybe, something like that. And then next year we'll look at 700. I'm excited, you know, it's all going really well, and I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm going to keep doing this, keep pushing the training, and that's it. Get strong, and then I'll feel awesome.